Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you're highly welcome as well. My name is Precious, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make stitch braids. So kindly watch till the end, okay? I'll be showing you guys two methods on how to achieve your stitch braids. And I'll advise if your mannequin is close by, just grab it and practice along with me. Remember that your part needs to be clean for your stitch braids to be clean as well, for your stitch braids to come out neat. So after sectioning out the part that you're going to be working with, going with your hair wax and make sure that the hair wax is well blended into the hair. Comb the hair wax into the hair. You don't want your hair wax sitting on top of the hair, okay? You can go over your part as many times as you'd want to. Just make sure they are neat. Now to the reason we are here, the stitch braids proper, how to make your stitch. Starting off with my first stitch and pushing the rest of the hair on that row backwards, because if the hair are all over the place, it's going to stress you out. Okay, so I'm going to braid my first stitch 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count it with me. I did 4 times. Remember my hand placement. I'm using my thumb and my index finger to pick the hair. If you don't understand anything about hand placement, I'm going to have a video linked in the description box where I taught about hand placement on how to do cornrows. Now, after braiding 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to take your second stitch with your comb. You take it with your index finger and your thumb, and then you braid 1, 2. Okay, now if you're going to be adding extension as you stitch along the row that you are on, you're supposed to be adding your extension as you go. Okay, as you're seeing me do on your screen, after I stitch 1 stitch, I take my extension, add braid 1, 2, and then I just continue down the line. But that is not the reason I'm here. I'm just teaching you guys how to make stitch braids, how to get your stitch proper. So kind of ignore the extension that I'm adding, except you want to learn how to add extension for stitch braids. Okay, so let's go back to our stitch. You take a stitch and then you braid 1, 2. Okay, you take another stitch with your comb and then you braid again 1, 2. Kindly note that your hand placement is what will make your stitch come out. It's what will make your stitch look easy for you. Okay, if your hand placement is wrong, your stitch braids might just be difficult for you to do. Let your hand placement just do the work. Okay, so you continue braiding 1, 2, making sure that your stitch that you're taking are very small. Well, it depends on the size of braids that you're going for. Okay, just make sure that it's very uniform. Okay, we are going to call this pattern stitch as you go using the comb method. Now, I'm going to show you guys another way to do your stitch braids. I use this method when I'm doing bold stitch braids, when I'm doing big stitch braids. Maybe the hair is thick and I know that if I'm to stitch as I go, my hands will cramp a lot. That is when I use this method. It's quite easy. The same hand placement, but it is not stitch as you go. This one is called pre-stitch, where you make your stitch down before you start braiding. So that is why I call it pre-stitch. The first one I just did is stitch as you go using the comb method. Okay, now for this pre-stitch, which is you make the stitch before you start braiding is quite easy. After making the first stitch that is the base for the rest of the stitch, you just start patting out the rest of the stitch, making sure they are all uniform before you start braiding. So the hand placement for this method still remain the same. You braid the first hair, but I'm adding from the second stitch because the hair I left for the base, which is the first stitch, was too small. So I added to it to make sure it gave me a good balance and so that I don't cut her hair. Okay. So after braiding 1, 2, 3, 4, you pick the second stitch, you braid 1, 2, then you pick the third stitch, you braid 1, 2, you pick the fourth stitch, you go 1, 2. The rhythm is the same. After braiding the first stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, as you go along that line, you just pick the stitch that you made and you braid 1, 2. Pick another stitch, you braid 1, 2. Remember to braid 1, 2. Count it if you need to. You pick a stitch and you go 1, 2, not more than. Okay? You pick another stitch, you go 1, 2. Don't braid more than 2 times. Okay? That is the rhythm you should keep. And that is how you make your stitch braids. As you can see, there is no difference at all between the pre-stitch stitch braids and the stitch as you go using the comb method stitch braids. It's the same hand placement, the same hand movement, the same flow, the same rhythm, but it's just different technique. Okay? Okay. I'm going to show you guys the stitch as you go method again using the comb with like a big size of braid. You know, the side of the head is quite small. So I'm going to show you how to stitch and go again using the comb method with a bold braid so that you can see it and understand it much more better. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you two things here, the hand placement and movement. You braid 1, 2, 3, 4. Count it 4 times. I didn't do more than 4. And then you take another stitch. You braid 1, 2. You go again, 1. You take your stitch rather, you go 1, 2. You take another stitch, you go 1, 2. Take another stitch, you go 1, 2. You keep on doing the same rhythm. Don't lose track of the rhythm. The same rhythm till you get to the nape area of the hair, of the head rather. Okay? So you take a stitch with your comb and you go 1, 2. You take another stitch with your comb and you go 1, 2. I'm repeating the 1, 2 so that it will be at the back of your head when you're making your stitch. Your rhythm should not be more than 1, 2 after taking a stitch. So you take the stitch, you go 1, 2. The same hand placement. You're still using your index finger and your thumb to pick the hairs, just different pattern. You're going to achieve the same thing. As you can see what I'm doing, if the hairs are disturbing you or entering into your way, you just have to comb them backwards and you continue stitching. Comb the hairs backwards and you continue stitching. I don't know if you can tell, but at this point my hands were cramping from trying to pick this bold hair, because as you can see the hair is bold and I'm trying to make sure my stitch are uniform, at the same time trying to handle or pick the hair as I go, which is stitch as I go. So that is the reason I most times will do the other method, pre-stitch method, if the hair is bold. Okay? I believe by now you should have a better understanding on how to achieve your stitch braids. So let me know in the comment section if this video helped you, and drop a comment as well if you would want to see a full detailed tutorial on how I achieve this simple straight back stitch braids. As always, like this video if you've not, and subscribe to the channel if you've not subscribed yet. Drop a comment, tell me thank you, just say anything in the comment section. It will help me, okay? And it will help YouTube to push this video out to more people. Share with your friends, share with your loved ones, and until the next one, bye bye.